Question 3. A fair six-sided black die has numbers 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4. The random variable b represents the score and the die is rolled. Write down the value of e of b. Well, we could work it out properly. So, e of b is going to be equal to the sum of b times the probability of b. Since it's a fair dice, the chance of landing on any side is a sixth. So we can do that sum and we get e of b is 2.5. A white die has sides 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 4, 5 and c, where c is bigger than 5. The discrete random variable w represents the score the white die is rolled and has a probability distribution that looks like that. Greg and Nelia play a game with these dice. Greg throws the black die, Nelia throws the white die. Greg wins the game if he scores at least 2 more than Nelia. Otherwise, Greg loses. The chance of probability of Greg winning is a sixth. Find the value of a and b. Right. I will draw a tree diagram, although not a real tree diagram, a pretend tree diagram, where I can see who's going to win. If so Greg has to score 2 more. So the ways that Greg can win, remember that Greg if Greg scores a 2, he wins if Nelia rolls a 1. He also wins if Nelia rolls a 2. If Greg rolls a 3, he wins if Nelia rolls a 1. But there's no other ways that Greg is going to win. Greg has his black die. He's got the numbers 1, 2, 2, 3. He's got numbers 1, 2, 3 and 4 on it. If he rolls a 1 or a 2, he's never going to win. So those are the only ways he's going to win. So the chance of Greg, so this one is, the chance of Greg rolling a 4 is a sixth. The chance of rolling a 1 is an a plus b. The chance of Greg rolling a 4 is a sixth. The chance of Nelia rolling a 2 is an a. The chance of Greg rolling a 3 is there's 2, 3, so it's a third chance, 2, 6, and the chance of Nelia rolling a and 1 is a plus b. Therefore, if we add all those up, a 6a plus b plus a 6a plus a third a plus b, that is the chance of Greg winning, and we know that is equal to 1/6. We can then times out the brackets and simplify it. And if we times out the brackets and simplify that, that becomes 4a plus 3b is equal to 1. That's one formula we can get. We also know that the sum of the probabilities is equal to 1, and if we sum these probabilities here, 1, 2, 3a, 2b's, then we end up with 3a plus 2b is equal to 0.7. That gives us 2 simultaneous equations which we can then solve to work out that a is equal to 0.1 and b is equal to 0.2. You could have done this using a table and it'd been the same thing, but you're just looking for different ways Greg can win and then work out their probabilities and then form the 2 equations. On to part C. The random variable x is equal to 2w minus 5. Given that e of x is 2.6, find the exact value of the variance of x. Well, the variance of x is obviously e of x squared minus e of x squared. However, we don't really know a lot about x to do this more than what it is there. Certainly we've got e of x and we've got a formula for x. So x is equal to 2w minus 5. So e of x is equal to 2 lots of e of w minus 5. Since we know that e of x is 2.6, we can work out that e of w is equal to 3.8. Now we want the variance of x. If we go back to this idea with coding, the variance of x is going to be equal to 2 squared times the variance of w. So if we can work out the variance of w, then we can work out the variance of x. We've got e of w. In order to work out next step, we really need to know what c is equal to. We can't do a lot until we know what c is. However, we can use this e of w idea to work out what c is, because we know that e of w is going to be 1 over, e of w is going to be 1 times a plus b plus 2 times a plus 4 times 0.3 plus 5 times a plus c times b, and we know from a bit of coding up here that it's equal to 3.8. So we can rearrange all of that and we can work out that c is equal to 2.6 minus 8a minus b divided by b. But we've already worked out in the previous part what a and b are. So if we sub those values in, we can get that c is equal to 8. So now we have 1, 2, 4, 5, 8, and we've got all our probabilities, which are 0.3, 0.1, 0.3, 0.1, 0.2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there are probabilities. We already know that e of w is 3.8. We need e of w squared, which is going to be 1 squared times 0.3 plus 2 squared times 0.1 plus 4 squared times 0.3 plus 5 squared times 0.1 plus 8 squared times 0.2. E of w squared works out to be 20.8. We can now work out the variance of w, which is going to be e of w squared, take away e of w squared. So 20.8 take away 3.8 squared, which is equal to 6.36. And then using our coding idea, that's therefore going to give us the variance of x is 4 times the variance of w, 4 times 6.36, which is equal to 25.44. It's an involved question, this one. Find e of w, use e of w to work out what c is. Once you know what c is, work out e of w squared. Once you've got e of w squared, work out the variance of w. Once you've got the variance of w, then you can use coding to work out the variance of x.